Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making Korean hot dog. So I've never had this before because it was like the latest trend within the last few years that this started being really popular, and I haven't been back to South Korea since 1988 since the Olympics, so I haven't had this in Korea. I know there are some restaurants that are popping up that are serving this, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to make this and have it for the first time, making it vegan. Okay? So today we'll be making Korean hot dogs. We're gonna get right to it. That are popping up that are serving this, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to make this and have it for the first time, making it vegan. Okay, so today we'll be making Korean hot dogs. We're gonna get right to it. We'll start with the hot dog itself because it's gonna take some time. We have 2.5 cups of vital wheat gluten right here, and so the vital wheat gluten is like the protein part of the wheat berry. So this actually is about around 80 to 82% protein. So yeah, this is a lot of protein. Then we have about half a cup of almond flour. We're gonna add all our dry ingredient first. Then we have 2 teaspoons of dry mustard. We have 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. We have 2 teaspoons of coriander seed. That's ground up. Don't use the whole seeds, or you're gonna, when you bite into the hot dog, you're gonna get crunchy bursts of like coriander flavor. Coriander is basically cilantro seed. And then we have 2 teaspoons of cumin. That reminds me of a funny story. Like we had when I was at CIA, one of the students there, her name was Joyce. Oh, I lost touch with her. She was so nice. She was one of the older ladies just doing the certificate program, and we had cumin in one of the bread recipe, and she called it cumin, and I'm like, no, Joyce, that's not cumin, it's cumin. We just laughed afterwards, and we're gonna put about 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper, and about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Well, good thing about making your own hot dog is that the ones you buy, especially like the vegan ones, they put so much salt and sugar into it, you know? You don't know how much of well, it tells you on the label, and when you read it, it's like, oh, that much salt and sugar. Anyways, we're gonna put about 1/2 teaspoon of fresh nutmeg, ground of course. And that's it for this dry mixture. So we're gonna kind of mix it up. I'm gonna use a blender. Now, if you have a food processor, that works. But I'm gonna use my Vitamix. I have 14 ounces of tofu, 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I have 1 cup of onion that's chopped up. And I have half a cup of refined coconut oil. So again, if you don't use the refined coconut, you're gonna get that coconut flavor. And then we have about 4 cloves of fresh garlic that's chopped up. And then I'm gonna blend this. We're gonna put about 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke. Once we have our wet ingredients, we're gonna mix it into the dry ingredients. So for this part, you'll probably need a bigger bowl. Now, if you're using a food processor, you can just add the dry ingredient to your wet ingredients. So now that we have the mixture, we're gonna just combine it. And it's already starting to smell like hot dog. Now at this point, if you wanted to have that pink color, you can add a little beet powder to it. Just a little to give it a hint of color, and it will look like a hot dog. Actually, let me do that. The ideal time to add the beet powder would have been all the dry ingredients together, but I'm gonna just put a little bit of beet powder. And then I'm just gonna go in with my hand and massage this. Oh, it's starting to smell like hot dog. So once we have our mixture, you can see that it's moist, but it doesn't stick to my hand. And we're gonna divide it into equal pieces. I think we're gonna be able to make 8 pieces. Let me weigh these so that they're all about the same. They were pretty spot on, except for a few that had a little extra. Okay, so now that we have our pieces here, I have some parchment paper and foil. So kind of roll this up into a hot dog shape. Now these are pretty big. If you want it a little smaller for kids, you can do half sizes. We'll put them with this, and we're going to just roll it out. Reason why I have the parchment is because I don't want the hot dog to actually touch the foil. But and then you just kind of twist the ends like a candy. Reason why I don't want the foil to touch the thing is because I've read a lot of researches where actually consuming food touched with foil is like the major cause of Alzheimer's. So I'm kind of protective about things like that. So we have one hot dog here. Again, we're gonna roll this out into an even shaped log. I could have gone a little heavier with the beet powder, but next time. So we have our parchment, and they don't have to be in perfect shape as long as it doesn't have like holes in it, you know, or it's not ripped up. So we're gonna roll our hot dog, and then twist the ends to make it nice and compact so that it will make a nice even cylindrical shape. And I'm gonna anchor this down because when it's steaming or baking in the oven, this will kind of expand. So if you don't tie it well, it's gonna get loose. Okay, this one has a little hole in the middle. Okay, and I'm gonna chop it up. I made 4 plain, and I'm gonna make 4 with like jalapenos in it because I like it spicy. This is pickled jalapeno is not even that spicy. It's just like the flavor. It's delicious. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just place them inside the hot dog mixture. See how easy it is? And make them all even. Oh, the jalapeno ones are gonna be so yummy. twist one side first, and then twist the other side, and then twist both ends at the same time, and then twist the end so that it won't move. Now you can do this with, if you wanted to make it different flavors, go ahead, you know. I'm not gonna even chop these. I think they'll be delicious whole. If you want to put some kimchi in here, I would chop up some kimchi. That'll be delicious. Okay. Almost done, one more left. Up. Twist one end and the other side, and then twist together. Easy, easy breezy. Last one. I'm obsessed with these pickled jalapenos. You know, when I make pot stickers sometimes, the ones steamed or even pan fried, I'll take these jalapenos and I'll put it into soy sauce with a little bit of the mala sauce, you know, the Chinese Szechuan peppercorn sauce, and I will put some of this brine from the pickled jalapeno, and I'll dip my pot stickers in there and eat it with the pickled jalapenos. Oh my god, I can eat like 2 dozen of these pot stickers with this sauce. It's so delicious. But anyways, so we have the last one working here. Roll it up nice and tight. Going to cinch one end and then the other side, and then roll them together to make a nice tight shape. So I'm gonna have, actually I won't need this portable burner today. I have a steamer here set up on my electric countertop, and I'm gonna place my hot dogs in here. Now there's 2 ways to cook this. You can steam it like this, and you're gonna steam it for about 45 minutes. It's important to steam it for 45 minutes to get rid of that vital wheat gluten flavor. There's a raw flavor that's not very pleasant if it's not cooked out. So we're gonna cook this for about 45 minutes. You can also bake this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 50 minutes to an hour. So I'm gonna steam mine. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Then we have 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and then we're gonna use almond milk. There's 125 grams in here. (125 grams or 125 milliliter. So, which in liquid you're supposed to actually count it in milliliter. That's the European style. But anyways, all we're gonna do is just mix this up. If the batter looks really dry like this, we're gonna add a little more. We're gonna add 1/4 cup at a time. So what we're looking for is like the consistency of like a ciabatta batter. Ciabatta is kind of loose, but it holds its shape. I'm gonna add a little more. Okay, this is the perfect consistency. So it's like a loose bread butter. I mean bread batter. Butter. You see how this batter kind of falls down? It's sticky, but it still holds its shape. So we're gonna let this sit. So while we're waiting for the hot dog to set, I had some taro in the refrigerator. So this is I found it in the Asian market like this, and it's already peeled. If it's not peeled, it shows you what it looks like with the skin on it. And you see how it's tightly vacuum sealed? So I take that and I have like a Asian mandolin, and I put it onto a setting where it's like, I would say between an eighth of an inch to 3/8 of an inch thick, not too thin, but not really thick either. So, and I have a one of those gardening gloves on, so I don't cut my hand. My hand slip, and I put on a latex glove, vinyl glove on, so that food doesn't get into the glove. So I use the mandolin. Slice the taro. I have a cast iron pan with vegetable oil filled halfway. You don't want to fill it more than half or it's going to overflow. And I like using like a heavy pan so that the heat retains even after you add this cold food to it. So I got this handy little instant thermometer at Costco. It was like a contractor thing with like a drywall, but it was really inexpensive. I think I paid like less than $30 for two of them, so not bad. So the temperature was around just before 400, but by the time I add this taro to it, it's gonna come down a lot in temperature. See, it's already down to 344. So that's the ideal temperature you want to fry things at. So I'm not gonna add any more. And I have my cheese ready. So this is a vegan cheese that I found at the grocery store. This ingredient is filtered water, coconut oil, modified potato and cornstarch, and then it says potato starch, fermented tofu, water, salt, sesame oil, sea salt, natural flavor, olive extract, and bitter carotene for color. So I'm gonna try to make this, okay? We'll see how it comes out. So I basically have all the ingredients. Filtered water, coconut oil, modified starch. I'll probably use tapioca or rice flour because it gives it that stretch. And I'm going to add a little agar-agar to firm it up. And then I have potato starch. For fermented tofu, I'm going to use half tofu, well, 3/4 tofu, and some miso, because that's fermented soy product. So we'll give it that flavor. Sesame oil. Instead of olive extract, I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil. So it's almost 400 degrees, and we're going to throw in our taro chips. You see how I'm placing them all separated? I don't just throw it in one lump because it's not going to cook evenly. I'm basically going to add until we have about, it's 350 degrees. It'll bring down the temperature. And I like to fry in the cast iron pan because it distributes the heat evenly. And it retains a lot of the heat into the metal, so it will come up in temperature really fast too. So you see how the bubbles are like really violent here? Violent. But one way you can tell when it's done is when the bubbles kind of disappear and there's no more bubbles and it's ready to come out of the fry. I mean, you can buy these, but like when you buy those taro chips, you know, the ones at the fancy stores like Costco Plus World Market or Trader Joe's or even Costco, sometimes we'll have it. It has like regular potato, it has like a purple potato, then like a yam, and then the taro chips. I always find myself picking only the taro out and then eat the rest after I eat all the taro. Because the taro ones are more delicious than the other ones, in my opinion. So if you want to just have taro chips that you want to snack on, just buy some taro and make it yourself. It's very easy. cool. What I did was the foil kind of retains the heat, so I took it off the foil and I put it into the freezer to let it cool. So when you take the foil out, you gotta kind of be careful because it's really hot. So now that we have our hot dogs, okay, I've taken the potato out of the water and dried it off. And I have these disposable chopsticks. This will fit about 3 in here, maybe 2. We'll cook 2 at a time. And so we'll just do a plain one to begin with. Just insert it almost all the way because it's gotta fit into our pan. Okay? And so I've transferred the batter into a shallow pan, and you can see that now it's become really stretchy and a little bit sticky. So we're gonna go ahead and start rolling the hot dog in the batter and kind of move it down. It works better when the hot dog's a little more firmer, so that the chopstick won't kind of like roll around itself. Okay. Now that we have our batter on here, if there's any little bit of exposed hot dog part, just kind of spread it out with your finger. And then, so I have breadcrumbs here, and I have potato. So I'm gonna do the potato one first. Just kind of roll the batter in the potato. I may have made my potatoes a little too big, so go a little smaller than a 1/4 inch. Then I'm gonna put in my hot dog. I don't want the heat too high, so I have it around 350 when I put this in. 330 right now, but it's gonna come up in temperature. So the next one, we're gonna do the jalapeno one. Oh, and I'm gonna put cheese in the middle. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna put this much cheese. Okay, that's a ginormous hot dog. Oh, the jalapeno was not a good idea. It's starting to break on me. The hot dog is starting to break on me. So what I'm gonna do, let me see. Oh, I'm gonna put the cheese at the end. So it's a little easier to do if your hot dog cooled off completely, or maybe even like half frozen. Look at that. It's a monster. this one, I'm gonna roll it in breadcrumb only. It's a mess, but it's okay. It's a mess, but it's okay. But this, it's a mess, but it looks freaking delicious. Let me do another plain one. I'm sure if I did it again, it's a learning process. I probably would chop up the jalapeno a little more and incorporate into the batter of the hot dog a little better. So this batter will give you enough batter for about 4 hot dogs. This one is breadcrumb. So this, you're not really like cooking any of the hot dogs already cooked. You're just making sure that there's no raw dough. That's why we're not frying this at really high temperature. 325 to 350 is perfect. Don't go any higher. Okay, the last one, I'm going to try the jalapeno one. This one's done. Look at this monstrosity. It's so huge. If I ate this, this will be like enough to keep me full for the whole freaking day. It's looking good though. Okay, so the last one. This is the jalapeno one. Yeah, so the trick is to have firm hot dog when you put the chopsticks into it. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard for you to roll the batter onto the hot dog. Okay, so let me do this one more thing. Potatoes. Okay, cut your potatoes smaller. This is too big. So if I sold this at a restaurant this size, how much should I charge this size? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Well, let me try it without the ketchup. I can see why this is so popular.
cheese and jalapeno with the breadcrumb. Oh, that's good. Let me get the jalapeno part. It's so big. It's like half the size of my head. This cheese is good though. With the so like my mouth is very confusing right now. It's very confused because it tastes like a donut with like cheese, but it's freaking good. Okay. My mouth is probably like covered in crumbs and grease. I'm gonna take it off the stick. Let's see. I haven't gotten some jalapeno yet. There it is. Oh, that's good. With the jalapeno. With a little bit of ketchup. So at around 325 to 350, I would say 2 to 3 minutes on each side until they're golden brown. Oh, that jalapeno. Because everything else is kind of like sweet. The jalapeno punches you in the face, which I love. With my eyes watering. And I can usually eat that jalapeno and bites out by the spoonful. But with this, it's delicious. So in hindsight, I would make the hot dog smaller. So maybe about, I would say instead of 8 pieces, I would make about 12 pieces of hot dog out of that one recipe. And then the batter, you would times it by 2. Okay, I'm gonna stop eating because I shouldn't eat all this fried food at once. I'm gonna put the rest in the freezer and take it out as I want to eat it in the toaster oven. So good though. You really need to sprinkle that sugar on there. It makes a huge difference. Because I got a spot here without the sugar, and I tasted it. It's not the same. You got to have the sugar. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something. I know I have. I haven't made this before. And so next time, I would make the hot dog smaller and make double the batch of the batter. And also make sure the hot dog is nice and cold before I skewer it, so that it will roll better. Also, you can use the same hot dog to make corn dogs too. I've done that in the past. I made little mini ones and I just fried it in corn batter, and I put it into the freezer, and I just take out one or two that I want to eat when I'm hungry or when I want to snack. So thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please press the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Press the notification bell so you'll get notification on the new videos that I make. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and share it with all your friends, okay? I'll see you next time. Bye!